All right, James Jones, a Super Bowl champ, almost a decade in the NFL, most of it 8 years with the Packers, is joining us, the former Super Bowl champ and Green Bay Packers star receiver. So I was talking during the break, and I want you to share this. I said, I don't know if Jordan Love is good, but the Packers, throughout their history, recent history, 25 years, they're just homegrown. LaFleur, Mike McDaniel, offensive coaches, they never have bad O-lines. The culture tends to be little conservative, no big free agents. Offense, we'll draft a defensive player first round, but we'll draft and develop offense. So I don't think it's a coincidence they always have good quarterbacks. The Bears, it's the opposite. Like they build, I can name linebackers. So go back to when you played. Again, you guys were stacked offensively. What were the Bears like? Did you ever fear their offense?
Never feared their offense. I mean, we never thought like, hey, this offense is going to outscore us. What we did fear, though, is their defense. I mean, you're talking about Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs. They brought over Julius Peppers. So,
Tillman.
You had Peanut Tillman, who was special at punching the ball out and creating turnovers. But they were built on the defensive side of the ball. And as much as they want to say like they're built on the defensive side of the ball, now they're not. You know, you let Khalil Mack out of there. You lost a lot of key. Roquan Smith. You lost a lot of key defensive players, you know. So now you're trying to turn over to be an offensive football team, and it's just not happening.
It's not who they are.
No, it's not who they are. Like, when we watched the game last night, I'm like, it's crazy how that happens, too, just to certain organizations. Like, the Pittsburgh Steelers, we're watching that game last night. Like, they've always had really good defenses. They always drafted really good defensive players.
The Steelers have, my entire life, since the 70s, they win championships when they have great quarterbacks. Their entire culture is based on draft, develop, defense.
Defense, yep.
Okay, when they get the star quarterback, they win titles. I think in the NFL, when you don't have an identity, so the Bears, it's rooted in defense. Well, now their defense stinks.
Exactly.
They don't do offense well. No. Like when you were with the Packers. So I don't know what Jordan Love is. What is your takeaway on what he is?
To be honest with you, you know, I go back to when Aaron Rodgers said we got another special one. And I'm like, hey, you know, I understand that's your homeboy. You know, you've been in the meeting rooms with him. I can understand, you know, you saying that. But when you watch Jordan Love play, the very first time we seen Aaron Rodgers, and this was in practice because Brett Favre was there, it was just a flick of the wrist. Whoa, 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 whoa. Flick of the wrist. And Charles Woodson and Al Harris, they like, he's special. You know, he just flicked it. He's like, he's special. When you watch Jordan Love, and he does not make every throw, but when you watch Jordan Love, it is flick of the wrist. It is poised. He cool and calm. It's never too big. And
he moves. Dude can move.
This is his first time really starting. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's been in the National Football League for 3 years. But when I see Jordan Love, especially when I watched him yesterday in that second half, I'm like, the Packers might be set for the next 20 years. They might have hit the luck of the draw again and are going to be set for the next 20 years. And the reason why I say that is because he really should be 3-0. And the offense is plain Jane right now. Like, Coach LaFleur, the way he's calling the game.
Bakhtiari's hurt.
Bakhtiari's hurt.
So
Watson's hurt. Aaron Jones is hurt. Jenkins is hurt. Like, and he went out there and 18 points in the fourth quarter. But you just don't see him. There hasn't been a throw to where we like, what you looking at? You understand?
That's a little bit C.J. Stroud.
Yes.
I don't know how good he is. When I watch C.J. Stroud, I'm like, oh, that's an adult. That's a professional quarterback.
No doubt.
Jordan Love looks like a professional quarterback.
I mean, it's so many
never overwhelmed.
No doubt. It's so many quarterbacks you can go to. I mean, Justin Fields, Dak Prescott, whoever you want to go to, where you're like, what you looking at? In 3 games since he's been a start, he has not had a throw to where we're like, where are you going with the ball? You know, and for me, that's signs of a special quarterback. That's signs of the game is completely slowed down for you. Yeah. That's signs that you're studying, that you're putting in the work, and you know exactly what you're doing. And, you know, it's showing up on his play. I think the Packers have hit the luck of the draw again. Is going to be lucked out for, you know, at least another 10. I won't say 20, but at least another 10.
So Broncos get blown out.
Yeah.
Were you ever – it felt like a little bit of they quit. Now, some of this is they've got a new DC. These aren't his players. It's brand new. So they may not have the right players because I think they're offensive guys. I think in the draft they have to go defense. Mims, Sutton, Judy, you're good. Williams, the running back. O-line's good enough. Russell Wilson's your guy. I think they have to, the trade deadline in the draft, just go deep. They get no consistent pass rush. But it did feel a little bit like, man, they quit. Was there ever a game, a moment, that you felt like the guys quit? 9 years in the league.
Yeah.
There was.
I mean, I've been in some games to where I felt like, some guys may have quit. I've been in some games in Green Bay to where, we've been getting our butt kicked and, everybody looking on the sideline like, I'm ready to get to the showers. I'm ready to get up out. You've been in that. Obviously, nobody has come out and say, man, but you've been in games like that to where you like nothing is going right. We cannot do nothing right.
What will a meeting be like today in Denver? What would the meeting be like after those games? Is it embarrassing, or do coaches just say, guys, there's a couple things I liked here? Because Russell Wilson's passer rating is better, and they're averaging almost a touchdown more a game. They are better offensively.
Yeah. For me, I don't like just brushing these to the side when you get beat up like this. I like swallowing these things. I like, hey, let's watch it. Let's break it down. Let's see what we did wrong, and let's correct this stuff. Because a lot of coaches will come in there like 70-20. We're not even watching this. It's over. Flush it down the toilet. It's gone. Get it out your memory like we're on to the next game. For me, I feel like, man, hey, we got our butts kicked. Let's figure out why we got our butts kicked like that. Number one, let's turn the tape on and let's see who was quitting.
Yeah.
Let's see who ain't showing effort. There's some plays out there to where dudes is watching dudes just break tackles. Like I don't want to get hurt. We down, 50 points. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to stick my nose in here. And so I want to see that on tape because as a coach and as a player, that's the time to hold each other accountable. So a lot of that stuff is going to show up. So as a coach, I would come in there. And Coach Mike has done this at times. He's coming there and he's like, I want to show you these 5 plays in this game.
That's it.
We got beat 70-20, but I've chosen 5 plays that I want to show you in this game. And it's 5 bad plays to where dudes ain't showing no effort, body language. And you're in that meeting and you just start going like this. Looking at the dudes that's on the tape, But at the end of the day, that's how you hold each other accountable. But they got to watch this. And they got to be able to, try to come back from this and fix some things that was out there. Because 70-20, that's a beatdown.
So it's interesting. When I watch most offenses, there's singular motion. They don't look that complicated, though I know the lexicon, the language is complicated.
Yeah.
I watch Miami. And my takeaway is that's got to be a smart team. They are, first of all, I don't think they ever run the same play more than twice.
Yeah.
Out of about 12 different looks, the deception, the timing. I mean, my takeaway is the coaching, is he simplifying it? That looks like a phone book of plays.
Well, no, it definitely ain't simplified, and he has everything he wants. I mean, that is speed city over there. They have speed all over the field. And when Tyreek Hill is out there, you have to have all eyes on Tyreek Hill. And then they didn't even have Jalen Waddle yesterday, so when he's back in the mix. But they present so many difficult situations for defense. It's absolutely crazy. And it's really on what you touched on. It's a different play every single play. They're motioning guys almost every single play. They're in bunch formations almost every single play. It's one thing that defenses don't like to do. And that's communicate and try to figure out where these dudes are going.
It's like Miami's running twice as many plays, it looks like. Twice as many looks. And yet, I don't get penalties.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I think they're asking a lot of the players, and the players are like,
But they're responding. And one thing I do like about it, because I remember, going up against some really good defenses. And whenever you're in bunch formations, whenever you're in stack formations, it's a lot of communications that got going on. The receiver could go that way, that way, that way. It's a lot of stuff. So now you're in bunch formations one play. You're motioning Tyreek Hill this way. You're motioning the guy back that way. Like, it's a lot of communications for defenses. And that's why, this is the National Football League. I've never seen people so wide open or holes so big for these running backs to run.
It may have been
in the National Football League.
A perfect matchup. So you have a new DC, a new defense, week 3.
Yeah.
This could have been just literally the worst team Denver could have played.
But see, I know it's new defensive coordinator, but he couldn't change the whole defense. I've switched offensive coordinators in the middle of the year. He may call a couple plays different, but This the defense we've been running. This is the offensive plays that we installed in training camp, install 1 through 9. We got all these plays in. You may put a little tweak here and there, but that's the same defense. This was just an absolute beatdown.
Yeah. So you're the Jets. We've gone back and forth on this. The organization has had chaos, it feels like, forever. Coach and quarterback. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just have to take a loss. And my take is, I'm just playing Zach. About the 5th round next year, I'll draft a guy. Aaron comes back. Mm-hmm. We got a really bad break. I'm not bringing in Kirk Cousins. Yeah. I'm not bringing in Carson Wentz. But Keyshawn came on earlier and said, you want to waste another year with this defense. Yeah. And my takeaway, well, Sauce Gardner's still young. Most of the defense is young. Quinnen Williams now more of a veteran presence. I think the organization has had so much chaos. Yeah. I'd stay with Zach. I'd win 6-7 games. It means a better pick, by the way. Yeah. You don't have to give that pick up because Aaron didn't play. Yeah. So I retain that pick. I'm going to get my left tackle for the future. That's a huge issue. So I think there's value. Instead of winning 9 games, win 6 and get one of the left tackles. What would you do?
I've been on TV fighting for Zach. Because I've said the same thing. Stick with Zach. Let Zach go through his ups and downs. Let him grow. You're going to get Aaron Rodgers back. Hopefully Zach can, get you some wins and possibly have you, last couple games with an opportunity to get in the playoffs. We don't know how this is gonna fold. But then again, as I was sitting there yesterday watching the game, I'm like, they can't do the rest of the team like this.
Is that so? You screwing the other guys?
Yes, that's basically what this is saying, because Zach Wilson is not playing well right now. So
I don't think he's a franchise. I don't think he's a franchise.
So eventually, as a coach, it's like, do I keep on sending him out here knowing that we're not going to have any production on the offensive side of the ball? I mean, the past 2 weeks, we've seen him and Garrett Wilson kind of getting into it on the sideline. We've seen a lot of frustration from
You're starting to sound like Jay.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of frustration from those Jets players. So for me, it's like, you got to think about the other guys now. You got to think about the Sauce Gardners. You got to think about the C.J. Mosley. You got to think about the Quinn Williams. Like, you got to think about those dudes. Like, they're not sitting in their locker room like, yeah, just leave Zach out there unless – They want to win, So for me, I'm not saying you go trade for Kirk Cousins, but if you can go get a Carson Wentz or go get a Matt Ryan, and knowing that they're not going to be on your football team next year, to me that's something different. Like if you go get a Kirk Cousins and a Kirk Cousins possibly balls out, yes, Aaron Rodgers is in your future, but if Kurt is on the Jets, this is easily a playoff team.
Look at Jay,
in my humble opinion, this is easily a playoff team with Kirk Cousins under the center. So,
Okay, get the schedule out.
They have a tough schedule.
Here's the upside.
Yeah.
Because there's always a silver lining. Because Aaron got hurt, you retain your first-round pick.
Yeah.
There are 2 A-plus left tackles. Their big need is when Aaron comes back, you better get that left tackle solved.
Yeah.
You win 11 with Kirk Cousins. You're not getting it.
You're not, I just the pride of the
Dwayne Brown was on IR yesterday.
The pride of the locker room, though. None of them dudes want to lose. I was with the Oakland Raiders, and we started 0-10. I thought we were going to win every last one of them games. And even we started 0-10, I wanted to win the next 7 or the next 6. Like, I'm like, this is like, we cannot keep losing. I understand that, people on the outside is like, hey, they get this draft. We do not like losing. And if you continue to put Zach Wilson out there, he has not shown any strides that he's going to help you win. So for me, I look out for the other players, and I look out for those dudes, because them dudes is out there. And basically you telling me that, we trying to get 6 wins. I could mess around and get hurt out here. And we acting like we really don't want to compete or win. At least show me something to where that we trying to compete and win. I don't care if it's a Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, but we got to do something, because it's not just Zach Wilson on the Jets.
How about that, J-Mac?
By the way,
Dwayne Brown yesterday didn't play.
He's on IR, yeah.
IR, yeah.
So can I ask you about that 2014 team? I was just looking it up.
Yeah.
The coach got fired 4 games in.
Mm-hmm.
What's the mindset in the locker room like as things are unraveling? You're getting blown out in every game. Like, you're not you're checking out, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you there.
Yeah.
you close to checking out, but I mean, at the end of I remember that, I mean, clear as day. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because we just wanted to get a W.
Okay.
Like the main mindset is like, we seen the Detroit Lions go 0-16. That can't be us. Like, I don't care what coach get fired. I don't care what players get cut. That we have to find a way to win.
Okay, here's the Jets' schedule. So let's put it. So let's be fair. New England's a terrible matchup because Belichick makes every young quarterback, especially bad ones, struggle. Okay, you're going to get housed by Kansas City. Can you beat Denver?
That's probably Zach's last stand with the bye week coming up after
then
Philly.
It's Philadelphia by Giants.
But
listen, there's 6 wins here. 8 with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has to learn. Yeah. By the way, how do we know that Hackett's some genius?
Well, we don't. But the bye week is after that Philly game. So even if you got 2 wins, 2 and 4, you get the bye week. Kirk gets some time, and then take advantage of the second half schedule with a good quarterback. Come on, James, talk him into it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You're with taking care of the rest of the organization.
I'm with making sure. Like I want to send the message to that we're not just tanking this football season, fellas. All right. Like. We have to send a message to her. We have a big-time defense, right? I mean, they just held the Patriots to 15 points. They held Josh Allen to, I mean,
four picks.
4 picks.
Yeah.
3, 4 takeaways. Like, we have a really good defense. Let's not tank this season. Let's not take this season. And then it's whispers about Aaron coming back. That's the only reason why I say no Kirk Cousins.
Now, if I don't know if that's true. If I knew Aaron was coming back, then the Kirk Cousins –
I believe the goal is for Aaron, depending on how this surgery happens.
Depending on
how this rehab, I will.
Text
depending
Next
on how
week
this.
I want an answer. Is he coming back?
Depending on how this rehab goes, and that's why I say a Carson Wentz or a Matt Ryan, because if Kirk Cousins come over there, even though Aaron Rodgers is clearly better than Kirk Cousins, if he's playing at a high level and these dudes are rolling, you know what I'm saying? Do you switch off Kirk to Aaron? Even though I feel like he's 1,000 times better. It's easy to say, thank you, Carson Wentz, for your service. Thank you, Matt Ryan, for your service. You know what I'm saying? Aaron is back.
Right.
So you just cannot take the season, man, and just forget about the other, 53-man roster? You can't forget about the other 52 dudes on the roster.
James, is always great seeing you.
Appreciate you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.